Hey guys, welcome to another video of mine. It's Kamar AA, and this is another Chelsea news video, another Chelsea transfer news video. And this video, there's loads to talk about. All the new, fresh, emerging reports. Will Chelsea swoop in for Callum Wilson or Timo Werner in the January transfer window? Going to be giving some details whether, when it's going to be uplifted, when the court hearing is. Got some, inside information about that, so I will be revealing that in the video. And my thoughts of player on in this video as well. And also Chelsea sent scouts to watch the Lazio Celtic game last night to monitor and scout Serge Milinkovic Savic. Going to be discussing my thoughts, opinions on that, and if you do need him as a player, what type of player is he, and if he would benefit Chelsea a lot. But before I do get into it, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to my channel if you're not on here. Make sure you hit the notification so you're notified for every time I upload, and comment down below your thoughts, opinions in the comment section below on each story that I do talk about. But without further ado, let's get straight into it. Now, starting off with Callum Wilson and Timo Werner. So of Callum Wilson, now this morning, the Telegraph, which are relatively reliable, the Telegraph and the Mail Online Sport reported that if Chelsea get this ban uplifted in January, then they will be back in for Callum Wilson. Now, if you cast your minds back to 18 months ago, or even last January, we were so close to signing Callum Wilson when we had likes of Jauary and Gianfranco Zola. We were very close to getting Callum Wilson. Now, the main reason why, Jesus Christ, the main reason why the deal never materialised was because of the price tag. Obviously, it was mid-season. Players' prices are astronomical. They're insanely inflated, and the fact that he's English, of course, is overhyped. He was doing fantastic for Bournemouth. He was Bournemouth's star man. So if we're going to sign him, you're going to have to pay the big bucks. And it came to a question of, was £50 million worth it? And in the end, no, I never believed it was. I thought that if we did ever sign him, he's a decent striker, but 25-30 mil tops. Bournemouth wanted 50 million, and that deal never materialised, hence why we never signed him. However, the Mail Online Sport and Telegraph are reporting that Chelsea are back in for Callum Wilson if we do get this ban uplifted. And I'll give you the details about the ban. Now, I did hear from my source that on the 16th of November there will be a court hearing regarding if we can get a ban. Of course, this is behind closed doors. No one will hear about this. You guys won't have heard this anywhere else. 16th of November is the court date where we will basically, obviously be in court with FIFA. There will be a hearing, and then 2 weeks after that, towards the end of November, start of December, is when we should hear whether we, are able to sign in January. That was what I was told. That's the date. 16th November is the court hearing with FIFA. So at the moment, it's all up in the air. However, Chelsea and the board are confident that we can uplift this ban, and Callum Wilson is one of our striking targets. Now, there's a lot of factors, a lot of question marks over this. Number one, do we even need a striker? Tammy Abraham, he's done so well, joint top scorer in the Premier League. Do you want to ruin his momentum? And plus, if we do sign a striker, will he come first choice immediately? Will they want to play second fiddle with Chelsea? I don't know. Will Tammy be unhappy? Will it ruin his momentum, his confidence, etc.? That's another question to ask as well. So there's these other factors that are involved. And number two, why are we just looking at strikers? In my opinion, midfield and defence and fullbacks is the main key areas that we should be focusing on if we do get the January window uplifted. And then, of course, the other question of, are we even desperate enough for this January transfer window to be uplifted? We've been doing so well so far. Again, that emphatic victory in Amsterdam, doing so well in the Premier League, being in the top four. Is there any point in having this uplifted? But like I said, the board are confident Callum Wilson is a massive target. Now, getting into him as a player, how well has he done this season? Now, currently this season, he's played 9 Premier League games, all 9 for Bournemouth. He scored 5 goals, which is quite impressive. He's near joint top goal scorer, of course. He's got 3 behind Tammy Abraham. But for me, playing for a club like Bournemouth, he's done this on a consistent basis. Last season, 30 Premier League games, 14 goals and 9 assists. So 23 goals and assists in 30 games is very, very impressive, especially being Bournemouth star man, being English as well. So if we do ever sign him, obviously the homegrown quota, homegrown talent, etc. And, he's shown the numbers there. He's statistically very good. And imagine him in a system with Lampard where you'd benefit more in a Lampard system, getting in behind the defence, stretching the play, having the pace, the power. He's got the physicality. He's Premier League proven as well, which is always a benefit when you're signing strikers. He's got the statistics to show for it, the goals, the assists, the link-up play. So for me, he's a very, very good player. He's adaptable. He adapts to the system. He's a clinical finisher. And to be honest, if the price was right, I wouldn't mind to see Callum Wilson. Now, the question is, I wouldn't want to see him as a starter. I think that he'd be a perfect second choice striker. But like I said, I wouldn't pay more than £30 million. There is no need to sign him for more than £30 million. Like I said, 45 to £50 million, which is what Bournemouth quotes. And at the moment, it could even go even higher. No way. He's not worth that. I'm sorry. Especially if we've got someone like Tammy Abraham who's banging the goals right now. So for me, that it wouldn't make logical sense if we sign Callum Wilson at this moment in time. Now obviously, like I said, that's the statistics. Every season he's been producing those numbers, and year on year he's been improving. He's been getting more goals, more assists. So for me, he's a very young striker that's always going to benefit. Yes, he's 27 years of age, so obviously he is entering his prime. So if we did sign, it'd be a perfect time, because now he'd be at his peak. He'd be scoring crazy amount of goals, and I think there's a second choice striker, it'd be fantastic. However, like I said, it always comes down to the factors. Will it ruin Tammy Abraham's momentum, and also the price? Bournemouth simply want too much money for him. But that's what the Telegraph and the Mail Online are reporting. Now getting into the second striker that the Mail Online were reporting, that is Timo Werner. Now we have been linked with him a few times. I've even mentioned this in a couple of my videos in the past. Timo Werner, obviously the 23-year-old German international. We all know Timo Werner. A lot of you guys know, he's worldwide known. He was set to go to Bayern Munich. That deal had collapsed. And now, like I mentioned in my last video, he does have a £27 million release clause, which is stupendous. He signed a 4-year deal just a couple of months ago, but like I said, that has a £27 million release clause. So for me, if you did ever sign him, that is a bargain. And if we do sign a striker, if we pick Wilson over Timo Werner, that is when we're stupid, because number one, Timo is probably half the price. He's double the player. He's younger, 23 years of age, and he's got so much room to improve. Yes, there's some negatives with Timo Werner. He's not Premier League proven, etc. But his stats show for it. Champions League experience. He's done it on the biggest stage. This season so far, in 3 Champions League games, Timo Werner has 2 goals, 2 in 3 in the Champions League. Last season, he played 6 Champions League games and he got 3 goals, which is a fantastic record for a striker. In the Bundesliga so far this season, he's been on fire. 8 Bundesliga games and 6 goals. And last season, he achieved, in 30 matches, 16 Bundesliga goals with 7 assists. So 23 goals and assists in 30 games is phenomenal records, and plus you add the Champions League as well. So for me, he produces these numbers year on year on year, like Callum Wilson, but produces high numbers. He's done it on the Champions League stage, he's done it on the biggest stage. He's young, he's 23, there's so much room to improve, and if he's hitting these numbers at 23, imagine the numbers he'll be hitting when he enters his prime, 26 years of age, 27, 28 years of age. This guy will become a world-class striker, and for me, is a player that I would love to see at Chelsea. He wouldn't be my first choice, don't get me wrong. You got the likes of Jovic, Dybala, who I would prefer. But for the price of £27 million, and if we sign him, I'll get gas. He's a top quality player, 23 years of age. He can develop on the Lampard, he can develop on the Jody Morris, the coaches, the coaching staff. The one issue I do have with him is obviously he's not Premier League proven, so the physicality, he's going to have to adapt to that. That will take more time. Secondly, like I said, Tammy Abraham has been doing really, really well again. But still, for me, imagine having Werner and Abraham as your striking options, phenomenal. And also, he does miss a lot of easy chances. Now, the games that I have watched him for Leipzig and also the German national team, he does miss quite a few chances. But you've got to bear in mind, he's 23 years of age. He will bound to be improving his touch, his link-up play, his aerial ability. Very, very tall, 1.8 metres as well. Lightweight, tall, physical, likes to link up the play, very good at passing, and he's rapid. Acceleration is on point. He's so quick for a striker. He can run in behind that defence, stretch the play, move the ball quickly, play as your number 9 or your centre forward. So he can bring the play in. His defensive work is really, really good. And for me, he's the perfect suited number 9 for a Frank Lampard system. And he'd be getting a lot of goals. Now, obviously, he will improve. He's scored some phenomenal goals. And for me, being only 23 years of age, he will be a world-class striker in the future. And for only £27 million, for me, we should be all over that. We have to be all over that. He'd be a quality addition, and 100%. He'd be a signing that would kind of make a statement to the rest of the top 6, make a statement to the elite clubs in Europe that Chelsea are back, we are spending now, and for only £27 million. Come on, Chelsea. Don't fuck around. Get this deal over the line. Now, finishing off this video, obviously, third talking point, the Chelsea have scouted Milinkovic Savic for the Lazio versus Celtic game, which took place yesterday evening. And the Chelsea scouts were basically scouting the €65 million rated star. Now, a couple of years ago, he was one of the hottest midfielders in Europe, targeted by Man United, Barcelona, Real Madrid. However, last couple of seasons, he hasn't really hit those heights. However, like I said, he's still a top quality player. Now, if you're wondering what type of player he is, he's a very similar stylistically to a Ruben Loftus-Cheek, to a Mason Mount. He's more of a box-to-box midfielder, very strong, very physical, dribbles past a lot of players, has an eye for a goal, really good at passing, got a long passing range, good defensive duties as well. So he's basically a white Serbian Ruben Loftus-Cheek, and that's my point. Do we need to sign him? Do we need to spend £70 million when we have Ruben Loftus-Cheek, we have Mason Mount? In my opinion, we have the second best midfielder in the Premier League, and I think the signing of Bruno Guimaraes, who's €40 million, who's got world-class potential, one of the hottest Brazilian midfielders, would be more clever, more suitable, and more logical to sign over Milinkovic Savic. Now, don't get me wrong, he's a top player, and I would love to see him at Chelsea. But when you have Loftus-Cheek, Mason Mount, Jorginho, Kante, Gilmour, Kovacic, and if we do sign Bruno as well, there is no need to sign him for that price as well. But that's just my thoughts, opinions. Leave me your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. If you do enjoy this video, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to my channel if you're not on here. Make sure you hit the notification so you're notified for every time I do uploads. And I'll see you guys for my next video. Peace.